My name is Armando from Bomberos from Fire Podcast and Fire Rescue Company. Before we start, I want to say thank you to everybody who listened to me or see these videos. I appreciate if you subscribe somewhere on the screen. I don't care. I don't even know where's that exactly. To support the channel, support the podcast, keep growing. Today I have a really special guest. She's into the fitness world. She's into a lot of things. And I'm really excited to talk to her. Lisa, if you don't mind to introduce yourself, I appreciate it.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. My name's Lisa Snowden. I am a 41-year-old mother and wife. I've been married for 15 years. I have 2 kids, 12 and 10, and 3 dogs. And I'm a fitness coach. I teach others how to become stronger, to have more confidence in themselves, and learn how to, get more into fitness.
And how do you got into fitness? What motivated you to say, you know what, I want to be a fitness instructor?
Well, it started off, I was put into dance at the early age of 3, and I went to college for dance at FAU.
Oh, wow.
Once I graduated, I had the opportunity to go back and coach them. And I did that for about 7 years. And then once I finished coaching, I had 2 babies. So I figured I needed to get into something else that was going to allow me to continue that passion for coaching others, inspiring others. And I decided to get my National Academy of Sports Medicine certification for personal training.
Oh.
And here I am today.
Nice. I also know that tomorrow you celebrate 2 years of what? If you don't mind to talk about it a little bit, I appreciate it.
Yes. So 2 years ago, tomorrow will be my 2-year anniversary for being diagnosed with alopecia areata. And it's been a challenging 2 years, to say the least. I can remember it like it was yesterday, coming home from the gym. I was blow drying my hair, had a small little hole, missing hair in the back of my head, and I was freaking out. I didn't know what it was. I had a hat on. I was looking at my hat. Where's my hair? Where is this? Where did this go? Found out after I made a doctor's appointment that I was diagnosed with alopecia. And as a woman losing their hair, that is challenging beyond itself. Obviously, stressing about hair loss causes you to have more hair loss.
Yeah.
And it's hard. How do you not stress about your hair loss? How do you go around each day going, am I going to lose more? Can people see my hair loss? Are people going to judge me? What if a clump of hair falls out while I'm working out? And it did. It got worse and worse, and the spot got bigger and bigger. And the crazy thing was, I never saw my hair fall out. Never. I don't know where it went. I've never saw it in the bed, in the shower, on the floor. I never saw it.
You never saw it?
It's just gone.
Wow.
Yep. And the challenges. So back in April of 22, when I got diagnosed, upon that summer of dealing with it for about, quite a few months, we had made the decision as a family to move to North Carolina for my husband's career. Upon that move, that made my hair loss even more because of the stress of moving. And once we got to North Carolina, I said to myself and my husband, we had a big discussion about sitting down and really kind of figuring out what's going on here. Let's get to the bottom of this. And I found an amazing dermatologist that helped me through really all of it. If I could say I moved to North Carolina just for this dermatologist, she was a godsend. And going through these appointments, it affected obviously my mental health, going through this, losing my hair, going in there every week, going, I don't see any growth. What's going on? I mean, I was completely bald on the top of my head. I had another spot coming over here, another big spot coming over here. I hid it any way I could with, like powders that would cover the color of my root, with hats, with bandanas. put it in a ponytail. So nobody knew that I had hair loss. I just hid it from everybody, even trying to hide it from myself as a, not wanting to face it head on.
Yeah,
Um,
to see it. Yeah.
it was hard. It was very hard. And she had suggested that I speak to someone regarding this thing, with the hair loss, what I was going through. And I was hesitant at first to speak to someone regarding my mental health. And I finally said, you know what, let me go. And I went and I met with her. And this doctor was a game changer. It was life altering. It was everything I needed that I didn't know I needed. And it was when I left, or when the appointment was over, I just said to her, can I see you tomorrow? Like, can I come back tomorrow? Like, it was that refreshing for me. And between her and basically my whole team that I had up in North Carolina that helped with my hair loss, I was able to gain my confidence back. And part of that was for them to help me find myself again. And
Yeah.
that was being back in the gym and training and not worrying about if I was going to lose more hair.
Wow. That's a journey.
It was a
I mean,
journey. It was a
wow.
very scary journey at times of taking a shower and getting out of the shower and looking at my bald spot, sitting on the floor going, I'm going to shave my head. I'm going to shave my head. Is my husband still going to love me? Is he still going to think I'm beautiful if I shave my head? And I would contemplate that and just cry and cry and cry until I was able to get the people in my life that were able to help me start to heal. And I was very blessed to have a husband and children that supported me beyond belief in this. And I don't think if I didn't have them, I don't know where I would be right now. But it really does take a village to overcome
Yes.
something like this.
Oh yeah, mental health and those type of problems. Regardless, you need a village. You need a
Yep.
good support system, a good base, a husband, wife, whatever you have, kids if you have your kids, and friends that can support you and take you to appointments and deal with the depression that sometimes goes with that too. Because I can't imagine just as a woman, which the hair is for a woman is something really important. It is not
I,
like us that I can shave all day, I can shave my eyebrows, and
no,
people just make fun of it a little bit and that's it, move on.
no. And I tried to tell myself all the time that it could be worse. It could be
Yeah.
it could be way worse. There's people who can't even get out of bed. I lost my best friend to brain cancer, and
Oh yeah.
I watched, that play through, and I could always hear her in my head, and I still hear her in my head to this day going, Lisa, it's just hair. It's just hair. Like, you could get a wig, you could be a different person every single day. And she's right. She would have said that to me. She would have said, it's just hair.
Yeah.
You still have your life, you still have your health. It's just hair. And like I said, with that village and the support of everyone around me, I started to find myself again and started going back into the gym and not caring about if somebody saw my bald spot, or what would happen if I lost hair during a workout. I was able to get back into my workouts and free my mind of everything that was going on and just focus on that moment right there. And that's one of the things that we try to teach, in the training that we do, the private training that we do, is this is your time. Like, this is focus on you. Let it all just go, because it'll be there when you're done. But right now, find a way to release all that stress. And for me, that's lifting and fitness.
Okay. Yeah.
And
No.
I was able to do that. And that was huge in helping my recovery.
So fitness is huge. One of the recommendations that I hear from people when I talk in the podcast multiple times is fitness.
Yep.
It could be lifting weights. That's what I do: weight resistance, or running,
Mm-hmm.
or swimming. Or you don't have to go crazy with weights. Just
Whatever
do
worked for
something.
you.
You have to move,
Mm-hmm.
and that will take your mind away. You don't have to go David Goggins, running ultra marathons for 3 days. But you have to do something with your mental health, and I think fitness is a big tool. That and nutrition, to get all together. And Yeah, and
Absolutely.
you're right, 100%. And what type of treatments or the dermatologist did to you? What type of stuff? Creams
So,
or because that's
yeah.
interesting.
So, okay. So when I got diagnosed, I was 39, and I never thought at 39 I would start using Rogaine. So yeah, I know, right? I was
All
like,
right.
so at 39, when I saw her, we had come up with a plan. There's obviously a lot of different options as a medical uh,
Yeah, yeah.
care gets more advanced. The safest treatment for me was a treatment called SABE, SADBE, and it's a topical immunotherapy. Um, it was a process actually to get the drug sent in and made. It took about a month to get the drug in.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, it took a long time. In the meantime, she had me start with Nutrafol, which is very common. You can buy many different places now. And then I started with Rogaine. The treatment was a very interesting treatment. She told me that it was going to cause a dermatitis. That was how the reaction of the hair growth was going to come about.
No shit.
So before we can even waiting after a month to get the medication, I had to wait an additional 2 weeks because she had to test a spot on my arm before we can even put it on my head. Now, me desperately just wanting to start, obviously, I
Yeah.
was anxious beyond belief. So we tested a spot on the arm, and 2 weeks went by, and I said, okay, I didn't get any kind of reaction. She's like, okay, so we're going to start. So we had a very strict course regimented treatment that we had to follow. And my husband had to help me. It was a topical treatment that we put on just on that spot. Caused it to be very itchy, which obviously you can't itch it because you're trying to grow your hair there.
Yeah.
So the within a month of being on this treatment, I noticed regrowth right away.
Really?
Yeah. But so I started that treatment in September. October, before I turned 40, actually like 2 days before I turned 40, I woke up. This is like 2 months in with my eyes swollen shut. Um, yeah,
Oh
my
my
arm
god.
where she tested the spot was like
Swole.
inflamed. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And it came out. This is part of the reaction of the dermatitis. And she's like, this is exactly what we want to see. This is showing us that your body is reacting to it. I'm like, but it's on my eyes and it's on my arm.
My
And
god.
she's like, no, 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 it's okay. So she gave me medication for my eyelids and everything, but it really did help. And once I got my second and third spot, again, it's related to stress. Like I said, the more you stress about your hair loss, the
The
more
more you
you're going to
fall.
lose your hair.
Yeah.
Um, we increased the dosage of the prescription, and we noticed growth right away. Like I said, between her care, the care of the mental health, the training, all three of those were just like the key that unlocked the door.
Nice.
And a lot of people they don't understand the extent of that hair loss until they see the photos of what I went through. Having a completely bald spot, like all this hair that I'll show you here, this all regrowth. That's from 2 years ago when I
That's
started
from two
losing
years
hair.
ago.
All
Wow.
regrowth. Yeah. I have a very short piece of hair down in the back here. I had lost back hair, a big chunk underneath my ear back here. It's all grown in. And like I said, it comes down to not losing sight of me and making sure that I put in the time for me. And that time for me is training. That's where I feel at my best. Because when I'm
Nice.
confident in the gym, it comes outside with me. It leaves with me. It goes into every aspect of my life, and it allows me to have help others build confidence in themselves. And
Yeah.
when people see that, oh wow, I didn't know how bad your hair loss was. It allows them to open up and be vulnerable at the moment and talk to others about something they are or maybe going through, or somebody they know may be going through this, and share their stories and what worked for them and what didn't work for them and how I hit it, and and all the things that I tried and didn't try.
Yeah.
So, just talking to others allows for people to understand what someone's going through. And you really never know, like all the people that were back here in Florida, unless I had shared with you directly that I had lost my hair, people had no idea. They had no idea that I had hair loss because I hid it.
Yeah,
I
you
was
hit it.
scared. I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know, I was embarrassed. I didn't know what people were going to think of me. And finally, I stopped being embarrassed and addressed it head on and let everybody know what I went through.
And also that helped you too, I guess, to go through therapy, just talking about it to people,
Mhm.
and that make it easier. I mean, that works for me when I have some trouble, stuff like that. I start talking to people, or at least
Yeah.
my wife and my family, about what happened doing on shift or in life, and that helped me to go through, I guess, the pain, and help me go through, or like a treat it kind of a little
Yep.
bit, and it helps. It actually helps. And if you don't tell this story, nobody will know that you had it.
No.
I can't believe your hair looks amazing. So I
Thank you.
can't
Thank
even.
you.
Hey, you're welcome. But it's true. It looks amazing.
It's been a long journey, and I could wake up tomorrow with a patch of hair missing again. This is not something that comes in and is gone forever. Could it ever come back? Maybe not, or maybe it could. Again, I have to learn how to control my cortisol levels, my stress, understand, you know, when something does get to me, how do I react to it? Do I just get all flustered and mad? Because as soon as I do, I feel it first thing is in my hair. It's the craziest
Really?
thing. I get all itchy. If I get aggravated, I feel it here. And I'm like, okay, Lisa, take a step back. Think about how far you've come, all that you've accomplished with this hair loss. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And
Right.
sometimes it's better to sit back. It's always better to sit back and go, let me digest this before I react. And that's
Wow.
how I've changed my mindset. My inner circle is very small. I, don't like drama that,
Yeah.
I don't need any extra stress in my life. And this allows me also to be a role model for my kids going
Yeah.
through something so difficult as in losing your hair and seeing that you can overcome it.
Yeah. And like a big sample is Jada Smith that we talked before.
Hmm.
She's one of the like pictures of like a face of the alopecia. She actually went open about it, and it was a big incident on the Oscar because of that. But it's true. I mean, if it wasn't for her, people don't even know about the
I never
problem.
knew about that. Was
Yeah.
actually the first time I ever even heard of this.
See.
And I never knew about it. And that's when I was like, wow, this is the first time I heard about it. And now look what happened. Who thought at 39 years old I was going to be losing my hair?
Yeah.
But again, I'll go back to I was drowning in my lifestyle. I had so much on my plate. I was trying to take over so many things, plus be a wife, plus be a mom, and work. It started building up and it
Yeah.
started, you know, and for me, the way it happened was hair loss.
Hair loss. Yeah.
And then you add that on top of everything that else that's going on, and you're like, okay. And then the hair loss just got worse and worse and worse. And when I got to North Carolina, the first thing she did was take a biopsy. So here I was, first week living in North Carolina.
Jesus
I had
Christ.
stitches in the top of my head, and the biopsy came back inconclusive, but favoring alopecia. So the day they took the stitches out, they went back in and did another biopsy. So I had more stitches in. I'm trying to get my kids situated in another state, trying
Yeah.
to get everything figured out. And here I am with stitches in my head, trying to talk about more stress, and it was funny because the doctor used to say to me, when you first came in here, you always had a hat on. You always wore a hat. And now you're coming in and you don't have a hat on anymore. And I was like, because you know why? Because I'm starting to embrace this. Like this,
Yeah.
there's a reason that I was chosen to go through this. There's a reason why this
Yeah.
happened to me. Obviously to teach me, a life lesson and being appreciative of everything I have and grateful and feeling blessed, but also I think to help others, to show others that there's no one that's perfect, right? We all have our battles. Some people choose to share their battles and some others choose to, be secretive and not, are not as vulnerable. And that's okay. But know that there's no one that
Yeah.
lives this, life of nothing happens or there's no issues or concerns.
It's not happen.
It's a
No, it's
false
not gonna happen.
reality.
It is. It is. No matter who you are, no matter where you are. I travel a couple times in Europe and South America, and everybody has a problem. Everyone. It might be different for the point of our view. Like, hey, it might be a simple problem, but everybody has a problem, no matter what.
Yeah, everybody's fighting something. There's no perfect life out there, and it may not be them directly, or maybe they have a family member that's sick, or a spouse that's sick, or a child that's sick. And like I said, if I can just help one person out there and say, this is what worked for me, this is what I did, this is how I overcame it, then I feel like that's a win in my book.
It is. And what do you recommend somebody who just recently find out they have alopecia as a woman? Because like I said, as a guy, it's different. Because you say you're just getting bold. That's it, bro. Just suck it up. And it's a reality, but it's true. I mean, it is true. What do you recommend if somebody is just find out, or you seen spot coming out? What do you will say to that person?
Well, first and foremost, find a dermatologist that they feel comfortable with, because you want to find a provider that's not just going to push pills down your throat. You want someone that is going to be supportive in what you're going through and understand. And I will say that the dermatologist that I saw, I could go in her office and just cry, and she would just listen. And there's not many physicians that you can find that will just let you pour your heart out. And I definitely did that many a times. So find a provider, a dermatologist, because I feel like that's the best type of provider to see for this, and talk to them about what your options are. There's many options. For me, the topical treatment was the least invasive, and long run, any type of like long run, what's the word? Like any effects.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, and then, see what your options are, and focus on your mental health. That's going to be a big piece. And you have to find out what the root cause is, why you're losing the hair. For me, I knew it was stress. And that's why I had to change everything. I had to change the way I operated and the way I looked at things. And like I said, the mental health is just huge. Being able to sit down with somebody and talk through your challenges.
Yeah.
Is a big piece of this.
Yeah, it is huge. It is huge. Yeah, that's a great advice. I didn't thought that dermatologist will be the doctor for that. Because I don't know. I'm a medic, so I'm used to being 911 service. So
skin, like it's your hair, so
it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the doctor I was seeing here had prescribed me. There was a new alopecia medication that had just been released. Yeah. And it took me about a month to get onto that one as well. And by the time I got onto that, we were moving. So I didn't start it because of all the side effects. So when I got to North Carolina, I brought it with me and I said, I need to start this. I didn't know any better. I said, I need to start this because I need, I have this hair loss. And the doctor, she looked at me and she goes, I will not put you on that. You will not take that. And she's like, these are our options. And to this day, I have the medication just sitting in my bathroom as a reminder that, again, if we didn't move to North Carolina and we stayed here, and if I would have started that medication, who knows, maybe it would have helped. Who knows what kind of side effects I would have had. I feel like things happen in your life for a reason. You're placed in a certain situation for a reason. And we moved to if I say anything, like I said, if we moved to North Carolina, I'm going to say we moved there so that I could recover and understand this disease.
Yeah. So are you back in Florida or you back in North Carolina?
Yeah. Oh, you're back in Florida. June this year, I will be a year that we're back in Florida. I'm born and raised in Florida. We took we call it a little vacation away to North Carolina for about a year. And then we moved back. Florida's home for all of us. So, and it allows me to be back in some of my favorite places and training others and inspiring others and helping others build that confidence that, they need to learn how to grow and be strong. And lifting just gives people that level of confidence, like almost like I'm untouchable. Like I can do this. Like if I can do this here, I can conquer anything else out in the world today. And that's an amazing feeling. And to know that I can inspire again someone or multiple people, that's a win for me.
Oh, that's awesome. And what difference you see on the fitness level between Florida and North Carolina? Because I'm pretty sure it's I don't know, in North Carolina a little more hefty, more heavy sets than Florida. I guess depends where you are in Florida too.
Well, you mean regarding the people?
Yes.
Um, no, not. I mean, I was able to work for a gym called D1 in Mooresville,
Hmm.
and the people that worked there, the owners, were amazing people. He played for the Buffalo Bills, Jordan.
Oh.
A little
Oh
shout
wow.
out there. He was their kicker, and it was a great group of people. I mean, I loved it. It was a great experience. Got to meet a lot of different people who really wanted to invest in their health. Outside of that, I mean, that was kind of like the people that I was always with. So I
Yeah.
couldn't really
Yes.
speak on, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's a different in the way, I guess, Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale views fitness versus possibly North Carolina.
Yeah. And how's that? Miami's more. I don't know because
We're in
I'm
the
knowing
beach
that
all
word.
the time. If you think about it, like we're always a lot of us is bathing suits. It's the
That's
beach, and
true.
we have different attire down here versus in North Carolina. I lived in sweatpants the entire time I was there, so it's much easier to not worry about body composition versus when you're down here and you're in shorts all day.
That's true.
So there was a huge that was the difference. But here I coach at a gym called Just Lift.
Hmm.
There's a couple different locations, Coral Springs, Boca. It's group fitness, just strictly strength training. All we do is teach others how to lift, how to
Oh,
be more
perfect.
confident, how to take control of their health issues that they may be struggling with, their nutrition. And then, I also do personal training, where someone may not feel comfortable in that group setting. They may just want that one-on-one. And I do that as well to help build that confidence and help people change their lifestyles. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not an all or nothing person. I truly believe in like an 80-20 lifestyle. If I'm going to have a slice of pizza, I'm going to have it. If I'm going to have a glass of wine, I'm going to have it. But for the most part, throughout the whole day, I'm eating clean.
Yeah.
I watch what I put inside and, in my body. I'm watching, especially with my hair loss. I'm scared
Oh
to
yeah.
take, any kind of pre-workout. I'm scared to take any kind of fat burner because I don't
Oh.
know if that's going to affect anything with my hair loss.
That's true. That's a good. That's a good question. What type of? How do you change your nutrition since you have that hair loss? Or what type of food are you able to eat? Or what can affect that? Because I didn't know that
Well,
big
I always
workout.
ate pretty healthy. So that
Yes.
wasn't really it was more of like any type of additional supplements that I would take. The pre-workouts, if I took a fat burner, anything like that, I just like one day went and said no more, not putting anything into my system. And I
Wow.
started more of a regimen and vitamins, supplements. I did a lot of research on different supplements that work for hair loss. I just really tried to invest in that part of things versus, trying to take things that would speed up my weight loss or muscle building.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I didn't realize that actually pre-workouts and fat burners can actually affect
Yeah,
alopecia.
I
I
mean they have a
have no
lot of stuff
idea.
in them, a lot of caffeine. I'm very, very cautious. If I can avoid going through what I've already been through,
Oh yeah.
I would like to do that.
Yeah.
However, if it happens again, if I wake up tomorrow and I have chunk of hair missing, I know how to handle it. I know how to overcome it. And I won't let it define me.
Yeah. That's a big part.
Yeah. It's a huge piece. And I won't forget the day that when I was still living down here before I left and I had the spot in the back, and with coaching we demo like we of all the movements before we
Hmm.
start in our group training. And I remember before I went down to the floor, I was always nervous that somebody was going to see my bald spot. And I didn't know about like this is the beginning. So I didn't realize how to cover stuff up yet. I didn't know how to I just would fluff my hair in the back so hopefully nobody would see it. And I remember the one day during the demo, I stopped and I turned around to everybody in class and I said, look, um, I have alopecia. I have a bald spot. And I just want you guys to know that if you see it when I go on the floor, that's what it is. And
Oh,
that took a lot from me. And a
Oh, I
lot
bet.
of people, almost everyone in class came up to me afterwards and said, thank you for being so vulnerable. Thank you for telling, and speaking the truth and not hiding it, because I'm going through this, or my daughter's going through
Yeah.
this, or this is happening, and
Yeah.
it was a game changer
It
to let
is.
people in, but then when it got worse and worse, that's when I started shutting people out again, because like I said, I was embarrassed. And then when I learned how to overcome it and get the help, the mental health help, and get learn to get back into my fitness routine and I was like, no one was stopping me.
That's awesome. No, the fact that you can inspire people, the fact that people actually open to you about another problem, that says a lot about
Yeah.
how we're willing to open yourself for everybody else to recognize their own problems, their own issues, and say, "Hey, I don't have alopecia, but I got something else. I might need
Yeah.
some treatment, or at least take care of that." That's actually great. That's a really good advice for everybody who feel that way with any disease or anything going on. Just be open, and people recognize it. People go
Yeah.
through the
No,
bullshit. People
people
see the
people
bullshit.
appreciate
100%.
honesty. No,
Yeah.
they appreciate honesty. And, like I said, if you could just help one person, that's a win.
It is a win. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I got a question. That this is for me because I do weight training. Uh,
Mhm.
what do you said about deadlift? What is your opinion about deadlift? Because I do deadlift. I love them.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of people in the world that think that deadlift will kill you, will break your back. It's the worst. It's so. What do you
One of those
recommend?
one of those
Yo.
people are my husband. He
Oh,
does
really?
he does not like deadlifts. Yeah. He does not. It's just because he has his back
Back.
sometimes bothers him,
Okay.
so he stays away from them. Me, I do feel they're a necessity in your strength training, and done properly, they're beneficial to you. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe in I do them in my training. I do all types of deadlifts, traditional RDLs, you name it, and I have them all in my training.
Oh, perfect.
I definitely, but again, it comes down to people understanding the technique of hinging,
Mhm.
because it actually is a very challenging movement for a lot of people.
It's
So teaching
uncomfortable in the
someone how
beginning.
to do it right is, and it's not always about going super heavy. You got to learn how to, learn how to lift light with light weights before you're going to jump into, a 200-pound deadlift. So it's
Yeah.
been it's definitely a necessity. And I
It
have, like I
is.
said, I have them in my workouts all the time.
No, to me, I'm almost 400 now.
Wow,
Deadlift.
that I cannot do.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm getting there. It is not easy. It is not.
No,
It takes my whole body just to do it one time, and I'm done. But I
yeah,
work my way. I've been working for almost a year on deadlift. I don't know
wow,
why. I get
that's
obsessed with
crazy.
deadlift. I love the strongman competition. So to me, and even as a
Those are crazy.
fireman, yeah, as a fireman, we do a lot of strongman movements. We
Yeah.
carry heavy crap all day long, and we carry stuff on our shoulder. We do farmer care. We do deadlift. So I focus a lot on strongman movements for me. So deadlift to me is I love it. But as
No,
you
yeah,
said,
you need
is
it. I mean, that's part of what your job description is
yeah,
a
pick up heavy
lot of
stuff.
deadlifting in there.
I
And
love.
I had the opportunity over COVID to help a young lady get prepared for the test to go into the
Oh,
fire academy.
the CPAP.
Yep. And
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
fun. Being
yeah.
able to get creative, and a lot of
Yes.
the carries that we did, the sledgehammer tires, all of it. It was
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely an interesting experience. I mean, I can't even imagine going up a staircase with a hose on my shoulder. So,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. Trust me. I took that test because I used to work in the fire department before I moved to the next to the one I'm currently at, and had to take that test twice.
oh gosh, no.
Yeah, so I remember like 8 stations. The stairmaster, 3 minutes. You have to do
Yep.
everything less than 10 minutes. 75 pounds of weight in the beginning, and then they take 25 out, and then you do the freaking stations overhaul. It's basically
It,
simulating a normal day in a fire scenario
yeah.
incident.
I definitely don't think I could pass.
Oh,
But
really?
she did good. And she passed. But
Sweet.
it was, we worked our butts off. I
Yeah.
mean, we trained really hard to get there. And, part of the whole training piece is that my kids are both very active in their
Hmm.
sports. My son is a competitive golfer. My daughter is a
Oh,
competitive gymnast. So with that being said, everything that I do and that my husband does, because he's very much into fitness as well, is being a role model for
it
them.
is. It is.
We'll come home and my daughter will have pulled my barbell into the house and my weights and everything. And she's doing her own set of workouts in the living room. And to me, that's like, amazing to see.
It is. As long as they don't break anything on the floor.
I know. I'm like, can't you do this in the garage?
Yeah, that's
No,
why I
but it
get
is
stuff in the
nice
garage.
to see. It is nice
That's
to see.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I got two daughters, one's 6, one 4, and the big one likes to work out, and the little one too.
Oh,
So they grab little weights, like a 1 pound weight, and try
yeah.
to imitate that. They left the deadlift all the time too. My big one. So yeah, it's a role model. It's just inspiring.
Yeah.
It's when you lead by example. That's my philosophy. That's what I preach all the time.
I agree. And going back to the hair loss, I remember the kids asking me because I was, I would say, yeah, I was probably depressed when I was going through, all of it in the beginning when we first moved away. And I remember them saying to me, if you shave your head, will your hair grow back? And I said, I don't know. And
Exactly.
I didn't want to scare them because they didn't really understand what I was going through.
Yeah.
But now, we needed to go through that, like for them to see me be vulnerable and be able to adapt to changes and become stronger over things.
Yeah. They pick up some from mom, and now they know if you did it, I can do it too.
Yeah,
Something happened to me, I can go through just like my mom. Basically, that's
exactly.
what, and that's beautiful. I think leading by example is the best you can do.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter how much schooling you give them. Doesn't matter how much
No,
stuff you give. No, it doesn't.
no.
It
So
don't
like
count.
when people say, oh, I don't have time to train, you don't have time or you don't want to make time. Either you
Yes.
get up an extra hour earlier in the morning or you stay up an extra hour later in the evening or you take your lunch break. We have so many clients at the gym that take their lunch break and train.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're in and out from coming at 12, out the door at 1, and they did their training.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole different mindset to come, like you're coming in, you get your workout in and you leave refreshed. And it's a great, to have that availability for people to do that. That's amazing.
Yeah. You got 24 hours to
Yeah.
find at least 30
There's
minutes
no
to work out.
excuses. If you
Yeah.
want it, you do it.
Yeah. Like I
You
said,
have
I
to want
work
it.
out sometimes or really early before I go to work or between calls.
Yeah.
That's because annoying because we're doing our routine. They have to stop, go back to the call, come back from a fire or from a EMS incident, and then continue the routine. But yeah, it is no excuse to don't work out.
No. And it's so important now. There's so many drugs on the market that have allowed for weight loss. But if
Oh,
people, I know, I don't know, but if people don't change their eating habits, right?
thank
They
you.
don't change their lifestyle.
Thank you.
Once you get off that drug, things are just going to go back, if not worse.
Yes.
And that's huge. People think, okay, well, I'm seeing changes, but I'm still eating a cheeseburger every day.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse for you when you get off of
Yeah.
that.
I was.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I can start a whole vibe about it because
I know, right?
the freaking Ozempic. I'm against Ozempic just because the consequences and the long term damage that you do to your body, people don't know yet. And like you said, and I'm always preach that you can take whatever, you can have gastric bypass, you can have whatever you want, but if you don't change your lifestyle,
Exactly.
it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
That the gastric bypass, that sleeve, Ozempic is just a tool for you to support your change your lifestyle. It is not the change.
Yeah. And
And I got so many people call 911 because they don't think it's Ozempic, but it's Ozempic, like malnutrition, dehydration,
oh, wow.
syncope episode. And I said, what do you take? Oh, I take Ozempic. Here we go.
Yeah.
So I seen
Yeah,
that
I can
arise on
imagine.
that.
I mean, my father had a heart attack, in 2008, so that's something that, I get my blood work checked every 6 months. I want to make sure that, I stay on top of things. And, part of that is, again, what I put into my body. I'm going to be very selective and what I'm going to take.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not something that I would even consider.
Yeah, no, I agree. I 100% agree. I got family members and friends that take that route without changing
Mhm.
lifestyle, and like, I wish you the best, but I cannot
Yeah, no,
force you to.
hard work is something that nobody can take away from you.
Yep.
So it may take a little bit longer to get to your goals, but no one can take that away from you. No one can. And
Yeah.
a fitness journey, we're just talking about that today. The fitness journey never ends. It never
Yeah.
ends. You always just have a new set of goals that you're reaching towards.
Yeah.
And it just we always say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It takes
It is.
time. It takes time to see results. But you can go into the gym for that 1 hour, but it's the other 23 that are the hardest of the day.
It is true. Yeah, because your eating
Mhm.
habits, your sleeping,
Yeah.
uh, stress can
Yeah.
actually cause. Yeah.
Stress is,
Yeah.
I know all about that way too much. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just changing your lifestyle. And for me, the gym is my out. That's where I go to feel my best, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't care as long as I can get a workout in at some point during the day, I'm happy. If I
What do
can't
you?
figure out how to do a workout, then
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
You need to find
then the
something.
day is not so good.
What do you recommend? Right? They said, what is the time? The minimum time you can have a quick workout. Those people that are in a rush life, they're going through the whole day's busy. Some people say, "Oh, I need to work out 2 hours or 3 hours to actually feel it." What do you recommend as a personal trainer? Hey, if you
I'm
work out 30 minutes, at least get 30 minutes. What do you will suggest?
I would definitely say 30 minutes minimum of a strength training would be beneficial. You can get in, you can get out, you can do what you need to do, versus not doing anything at all. 30 minutes is you could get a lot done. You can be consistent. You just have your little circuit or focus on one body part and get it in and get it done. Me personally, I can be in the gym for multiple hours, but I actually talk to people while I'm training too, so I can't
Oh
say it's a
yeah,
full working multiple hours, but for me, I like about an hour and a half of
okay,
training. 90 minutes is like a good solid training for me. Allows for my rest time, allows for a little bit of cardio. But I could get a workout in a minimum of 30 minutes. I could go in, do what I got to do, not talk to anybody, put my blinders on, and get it done.
perfect. And if somebody wants to start a home gym, just because they cannot afford go to the
Yeah.
gym, a membership, what would be the best tool to buy first? Hey, I want to buy this first for strength training.
Um, Probably a set of dumbbells.
Okay,
Multiple. You can find them really anywhere now. You could go to Target, Walmart, anywhere. Has even I think Walgreens has.
Walgreens. Yeah,
Yeah, they have like you
Jesus.
can find little weights in Walgreens, which is crazy. But I would say dumbbells and a barbell, but then barbell comes plates. So
Yes.
it's the dumbbells. You can really do anything with a set of dumbbells.
Okay. How about
Yeah.
kettlebell?
Kettlebell too. Yeah, kettlebells are great. I think they're obviously a little bit more advanced kettlebells. If
Okay,
somebody's just beginning, I would suggest for them to get dumbbells versus learning how to handle a kettlebell.
perfect. See, we're almost 45 minutes.
Oh
Time
yeah,
flies when you're having fun.
I know. So, and no dogs barked. I probably just jinxed that, but
It happens. I cannot hear it. But before we go, if people want to talk to you about alopecia or wanna follow you or hey, I want a personal trainer. I want to talk to Lisa. Where they can find you?
on Instagram at Lisa Snowden Fitness, and that's Snowden. And yeah, tell them to read. I would love to talk to anybody regarding if they're having any hair loss, any of their fitness questions they may have, any part of their journey. And if they're local, come check us out. Come check us out at Just Lift, and you will not regret that. You will have tons of fun in a class and
Nice.
get a kick ass workout. So lots of strength training, like I said, no cardio, and we teach you how to lift the correct way.
That's
So
good. That's more
in a good
important than
environment, a non-judgmental environment, which is really,
yes.
really good. So you come in there, you do you, and that's what I tell a lot of the new clients is just do you, because everybody in this room is at a different point in their journey. Some people are advanced training for a bikini competition. Some people may be 70 years old, just starting their fitness journey,
Yeah.
Or, someone may be 16 that is just starting, or someone may be, like me, 41, that's been in the journey for quite a long time. So don't worry about what other people are doing. Just do what's best for you.
Perfect.
And
That's
that's what
actually nice.
it's a great environment in there. So Just Lift, Coral Springs, Boca Raton, and there's actually a new location that's going to be opening in Plantation. So.
Oh, okay. All right. That's all South Florida, kind of.
Yeah. South Florida.
Yeah. At some point, you guys need to move to Central Florida so we can
I'm sure that will be coming at some point soon.
Hey, one day, maybe the next time we talk, I can go to the gym and do the podcast at the gym.
There you go. We can do it at the same time.
Yeah, we can do a firefighter workout if you want.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good.
More than that, a CPAP training.
There
I'll
you
take
go.
that.
I hope to never take that test. So I would pass out in the first minute going up the stairs. So.
Oh, I seen it because we have to have a standby unit when you're taking because people pass out all the time.
What is the machine where you hit the hammer on the like you have to get the piece to move?
Oh, that's to simulate breaking a door.
Yeah. Okay. So I couldn't even get it to move. Like I went to an actual fire department and tried to hit that machine with it. I couldn't even swing the hammer. That's a very challenging piece of equipment to work with.
Really, to me, we call it overhaul. Going up and down with a pike pole, the simulating to open the roof. To me, I was tired because I already went through all the stations, and when I get to that one,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I was exhausted. I was pushing with my legs. I wasn't even moving my arms.
Gosh,
and I'm tall. I'm 6'3". So I'm like, Jesus, I need to make it happen.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it is learning the swing on that machine to get that piece to move. But yeah, I wish, much credit to the people that get this done because I don't think I could. Plus, if I saw any type of blood, I would be done. So.
that's another one too. We have to deal with a lot of people, a lot of situations, car accidents, fire. It's fun times. I love it. I mean, when you love it, it's not a job; it's a passion that I get paid for. Kind of.
That's exactly how I feel about coaching.
Nice.
It's something that just comes second nature to me, and to make others smile and have fun in what they're doing and forget that they're even working hard. That's
that's awesome. That feeling. Yeah, it happens. You get paid for that, but other than that, you will do it for free. If you can do that for free with no problem, that means you love that job.
Exactly.
You love it. And it's been great. And who you recommend to come to the podcast and talk about whatever they want, or focus on mental health, or who you recommend?
I really would actually. There's a couple people. The owner of Just Lift, Nicole Kavanaugh. She is amazing. She needs to have her own TED podcast. Like, she's a TED Talk person. She's great. She's amazing at inspiring others. She's taught me a lot along the way. And like I had mentioned before, my brother-in-law is in recovery. He has fought his battles and he's come a long way, and he's got a lot to share about that. And nice. He's helped quite a few people during that recovery, which has been amazing to see.
All right. So hopefully I can reach out to them. If you can text me their contact, or at least let them know that I'm interested, and then text me that contact phone number or Instagram, and then I will hopefully get him into the podcast, your brother and the boss. Boss.
Awesome.
I will appreciate it.
Yeah, they're great people to have. So
awesome.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Hey, you're welcome. Anytime you guys are welcome to be in the podcast and talk about what it is you guys want. I mean, your story is really inspiring, and hopefully someone around the world, because I also put subtitles in Spanish because it's bilingual. Okay. So hopefully somebody, hey, I got this problem, or hey, I want to do the fitness, and get inspired. That's the point. At least somebody. If you got any last thoughts before we leave.
My last thought is, if you've been waiting to try fitness or get into training, let this be, a sign for you, and just do it. There's no right time. There's no tomorrow. Do it now. Do it today. Just go and do it.
Perfect.
So let this be fun.
Just do it. Just go do it. Just do it. Embrace it. Embrace the suckiness. Yeah.
It's going to suck in the beginning. It is. It truly is going to suck because you're going to be sore and you're like, oh my gosh. But your body will get used to it, and then you'll start to feel so good. And that, just like I said, it just spills out to everything else that you do into
That's
your
true.
normal daily routine.
That's
So,
true. Awesome. Thank you so much. And with that, we actually finished the podcast. Thank you guys for listening to me, to us, actually. Please don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. If you want to open your own podcast, you're more than welcome to help you out if you want to. I have no problem to share the wealth, and hopefully, you know, the more people listen, better. To me, it's not competition, it's expanding the toolbox to me. Anyway, with that, thank you guys, and see you in the next time.